Without doubt, it was one of the strangest accidents I ever investigated. We had a ship sailing from Tianjin port early morning one day. Visibility was still okay when she was at berth, but once they sailed, they dropped the pilot and left the channel sailing parallel to it. The visibility dropped to 100-200 meters. The ship was not sending fog signals. Both radars were 3 nautical miles off center. On the bridge there was a captain, chief mate, and an AB. Captain had the con, chief mate navigating officer, and AB was a lookout and helmsman if needed. Captain never drank coffee with milk, but that day he decided to add some milk to his coffee and upset his stomach. He had to step down to his cabin, leaving chief mate and AB on the bridge alone. At that moment, when he was going down to his cabin, an echo appeared on the edge of the screen, and obviously it was passing ahead of our vessel. The CPA was around 4 cables. The chief mate, when he observed this echo, and when it was passing the headline of our vessel being dead ahead, he pressed the whistle once and then followed by another long whistle 1.5 minutes later. The echo at that moment turned to starboard, going directly on head-on situation towards our vessel. Later we learned that it was a barge who probably illegally was dumping soil from some construction site into the bay of Tianjin. So they switched off their AIS so VTS couldn't track them. So now we have 2 vessels going towards each other in a head-on situation. So the chief mate, instead of turning to starboard, he just froze, and all he could do, he was just pressing the whistle until the collision occurred. The barge was cut in half and it sunk, where captain and his mother perished in the accident. When later analyzing it, I came to the conclusion that chief mate, who anyway was violating rest an hour period, he was working heavily in port. His reptilian brain took over, and this reptilian brain is a very primitive brain that tells us to fight, flight, or freeze. There was nobody to fight. There was nowhere to flee. So the only thing chief mate could do, freeze, and he froze. And instead of turning the ship to starboard, he kept pressing this whistle until the accident happened.